everyone, welcome to Authen-TEA-cally Nyoka. And today we have a very special guest. I love this woman. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not even gonna front. Okay. I love her. I affectionately call her Nayo, but I would love for you to introduce yourself and tell our community what you do and how you do what you do.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be here. I'm definitely honored to be asked to join you this evening. I was born Nayo Akowe, Brooklyn, New York. And then over the years, I have acquired other names. I'm affectionately called by Akan devotees Nana Nayo in the Akan tradition, and have other titles in other African based spiritual traditions as well.
Mm, Thank you so much for saying yes. I
You're welcome.
really am honored to have you here. I want to take a little trip down memory lane. I like to do that because everyone that I have here, we got history.
Hmm.
We got history. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about how we met. And I don't know if you remember, but I'm gonna jog our memories a little bit. So I
Okay.
remember one day because I study Akom and I love Akom songs. So I was it must have been on social media or something like that, and I saw you post about a CD that this house in New York, had created, and I was inquiring about the CD. Do you remember that conversation?
I do not. I do not. But the
And I
CD
think,
is fire. So, but I do not. I do not.
yes, okay. And that's the very, very first time. I think it was probably even via text. We didn't even talk yet at first. And then the second time I asked about the CD again, and I think I had some specific question, and that's when we were actually on the phone. So from that day, I remembered your voice.
Wow.
So after that, I started hearing your voice more and more, and then I joined the community that you have on Facebook for people in general who embrace African spirituality and want to learn more. And it's a brave space for us to express that. And
Hmm.
so I jumped in that group, and that's it. The rest, it was history. So we're always touching. We're always in community. I remember I took song classes with you and the other sisters. It was beautiful. So I recommend the song classes, y'all. I recommend any class that Nana Nayo is having. I'm gonna tell you right now. I recommend any class. Okay, so that's our trip down memory lane, and that was some years ago, right? But
Yes.
even
Yes.
more recently, I put a call out, and this was when I was first doing nurse coaching. Bit of star information. I don't know if you want to share as well, but I was doing nurse coaching, and I needed folks. I was like, hey y'all, come on, I'm giving out free time with me. Come on. And then we even connected on a deeper level during that time. And I want to say
Hmm.
thank you so much for your support there as well.
Yes.
And so here we are, right? One of the most, I think I want to know more so than maybe anybody else. I want to know, how do you define holistic health from how you practice your own practice?
Okay. So I come from a family of Black nationalists who raised me intentionally in African spirituality, raised me um, around the foundation of health and wellness, and it starts with how and what you eat. It also was driven by the women in the community. right? So coming out of the East, coming out of Brooklyn, New York during that time, homeschooling children, what you fed your children um, was looked at differently. And the mamas and the babas in the community intentionally made some choices around how we were going to be fed. And so conventionally, our refrigerators look different than anyone else. We shopped at the Park Slope Food Co-op, and there you got basically farm grade organic fruits and vegetables, grains, and then the mothers were creative in the kitchen about how and intentional about how they were going to create the meals. So that's how I came up, vegetarian, and then later on incorporating other proteins. But I know how to cook vegetables. I can have a wonderful meal with no meat involved, and I value it more now as we're learning the effects of diet and health and the long term effects, and especially learning that we cannot necessarily trust some of those three-letter organizations that are supposed to protect the quality of our food.
That's right.
So that was the basics of the nutrition and the importance of nutrition. I also come from a family of nurses, right? I'm a nurse. My mom's a nurse. My great grandmother was a midwife. So we're in nursing, we're into supporting the community. And so, in doing that and learning about health from a Western point of view, because of my background, I was also very, very interested in holistic health and what that looked like. And we can go down that rabbit hole, but it's a very deep rabbit hole around trying to be intentional about what you are going to do to protect your health, your children's health, and what risks you're willing to take, and really being more courageous about challenging the systems and not necessarily just going with the norms as it relates to that, and trying to have an understanding of the possible side effects and making informed decision around those choices. So that's my background. That's where I come from. And so just thinking more deeply in how I am learning, how I am practicing, and then going to school and learning nursing, Western worldview, being there servicing patients in hospitals, in the ICU, in the community. I do community health now, in the community, and really taking a look at what options are being presented. Are we treating the cause of the disease and really trying to incorporate behavior modification, or are we just treating the symptoms and therefore indoctrinating ourselves into a system that's really not going to promote health, but rather promotes dependence on these medications that are not necessarily going to, support you in the long term. So it's been a delicate balance, um, and it's been challenging, right? In the nursing field, when you see certain people being able to question and get answers and be given more grace and flexibility around the choices they make versus other people who aren't. Personally, as a mom, I want to share here that what drove me into, I always wanted to be in health, but what drove me into nursing was that my first child has sickle cell anemia. And growing up
Um,
as a young mom with a child with sickle cell, I was told certain things my child will and will not be able to do, right? Limited life expectancy. Don't give her this, do give her that. And there was so many contradictions along the way, um, that it was very interesting to me, around what information was available to mothers, young mothers, who were trying to make informed decisions around the care for their children. And during that process, I was challenged because I saw moms being threatened with ACS, which in New York is the Administration for Children's Services, which is like BCW back in the day. I don't know what they call it where you come from, but people know what I mean. Child Protective
what you
Services.
mean? Where I come from? I was raised in the Bronx. What you mean? Yeah.
Okay. Because people call it different things in different parts of the
Yes,
world. So
yes.
being threatened if you didn't want to take if you didn't want to allow your child to take prophylactic medications, which was going to cause antibiotic resistance, and all of these things, and how you
Mhm.
presented yourself, and how you asked those questions, and how you were empowered to be able to make decisions. And it is only through advocacy and patience, and I would have to say good spiritual favor, that I was able to resist the programming, or the fear indoctrination that happens in our medical system, that allowed me to make other choices when it came to the care of my daughter. And she is 30 something years old now, doing health advocacy work, got her master's in public health administration, out here advocating for women's health and women's rights, and living a very normal and healthy life with all of her body organs. And so there are other ways to be able to navigate it. And it is you know, touch and go. It's a very sensitive topic, but I would just stress to everyone to please ask questions, do research, figure out, and ask questions until you can get an answer that you would be comfortable with. Because this is your life, or your child's life, or your family's life, so that you can make decisions that you would be able to live with in the long run.
Yeah.
Technology is amazing. Medical technology is amazing. I'm not saying do not go and partake in medical technology. What I'm saying is ask the next question so you can understand the risk and the benefits of the decision that you're making.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing intimate details with us. In advancing health equity, Dr. Uche Blackstock, she has a health equity program, and I was able to get a scholarship to join that program. And interestingly
Awesome.
enough, yesterday, someone inside the program was talking about sickle cell disease and
Hmm.
how there are these stereotypes and how disparaging it is, and the challenges that we face as Black people in the healthcare system living with this dis-ease, right? And it's very interesting that you would bring that now after we just had that discussion inside that group. So again, thank you so much for your vulnerability and your willingness to share intimate details like that with us. Another question that I wanted to ask you has to do with your healing modalities when it comes to holistic health and wellness. For you and your own grounding, for your own development, growth and development, what modalities do you utilize?
So I use a balance. Um, there is Reiki has always been amazing for me, and utilizing and building in energy and being able to deal with the imbalance of energy in the body. So I absolutely believe in Reiki as well as acupuncture. When it comes to, like myself, right now I'm getting over a cold, not feeling well. Of course, herbs, mullein tea is amazing. So I always go back to nature, and say, okay, what would be in grandma's herb bag, right? What are some of the things from my southern roots that my family is already aware of and what works? Lemon, honey, cayenne pepper, ginger, right? Those type of things, and get those things working, especially being out in the healthcare field where I am, where I'm taking care of people who are sick, and we have a lot of viruses that are moving around. So doing those things. The other thing is rest, right? So many people are not thinking about rest, but making sure that I'm getting enough rest. And I can tell you 100%, this is a very busy season for me. I am not getting enough rest, which is probably the reason why this got on top of me. But in
Very.
addition to that, also just trying to make sure that, um, working with my doctor, right? So, do you have a homeopathic doctor, right? Someone who's going to think outside the box when you're not feeling well, that you can go and you can have a conversation with, because there are different homeopathic remedies. And the herbs in the closet may not work for every situation all the time. So you want to try to get ahead of it as much as possible. Movement and being out in nature and being able to get sun. We as African people in the diaspora need that and need to be able to have access to that. So definitely going out every day, moving the body, allowing ventilation to come through the home, disinfecting the home to try to make sure that you can contain whatever is going on. Those are like my basic goals go to for everything that happens. But so I was reminded about a week and a half ago, I was at a spiritual event, and there was some guidance that was provided at that event that it is very important that when we have um, a any sort of imbalance that comes and we're not feeling well and what's going on, that we also try to see if it is possibly spiritual in nature, right? Is it stress that brought it on? Is there something else going on that's not allowing you to rest and be at peace and be at balance? And how long have we been existing in this? I like to call it crisis mode, right? And after a while, how is that energy settling within us? And is what we're seeing a demonstration of those long term effects? So it's important for us to be very mindful about that. Many people try different things. For me, working with herbs and actually taking time to give myself an herbal bath works wonders. Wonders. So whenever I start feeling like, okay, there's a bit of pain or something else going on, one of my main go tos is, okay, guess what? Okay, I know you're physically clean, but have you spiritually cleaned yourself, right? Have you taken the time to take some herbs, take some flowers, put it in some water, make some prayers, do some deep breathing, relax and meditate, and then cleanse your body, cleanse your aura, cleanse your environment so that this way you can be able to make sure there is nothing else outside that's influencing what's going on inside.
That's right. And that's right in line with the 7 dimensions of health. While I was doing the nurse coaching course, they introduced the 7 dimensions of health. And uh, some, a few of the dimensions you just talked about, spiritual, right? That is a dimension of health. A lot of people don't look into how spirituality impacts all the other areas of our health, our mental health, our emotional health, and our physical health, because we know things can manifest on a spiritual level before they solidify and impact us physically, right? So sometimes the cleanup starts there so that we
Absolutely.
don't have to deal with the physical imbalance that then comes, right? So I'm in 100% agreement. You are the mouthpiece today. I think maybe some folks are tired of hearing me say. So it is very affirming to hear you say as well. So thank you for sharing all of your go-tos. You have quite a tool kit. And as we go along and we have more conversations, we want to extend that toolkit, right?
Mm,
We want to be able to add other things in there so that at any given moment we can pull for something, right? You didn't mention Tai Chi, but someone can pull for Tai Chi if they need that. You didn't mention crystal work, but someone can pull for crystals to help them, with that. And so what we are doing here is expanding our toolkits because
mm,
everything ain't for everybody, right? And sometimes what works for someone else can also work for you, but we won't know that unless we have this dialogue, unless we say, yes, I tried this and this was the result. So just like how we talk about herbs and we create herbal communities, and we study them and we look at their energy and we look at the impact that it can have on us in all the different dimensions, we also need to come together and explore other methods as
Mm,
well so that we could just continue to grow our knowledge.
mm.
And that's why I'm so happy that you came.
Thank
And so
you.
that we could have this discussion because I can't have this discussion with everybody. That
Yeah.
is for sure.
Yes.
That is for sure. So, on the social media, I don't like to go too long. You know, you and I, we can talk for a very long time. I don't
Mm.
want to go too long in this episode, but I do want you to share some of the wonderful things that are coming out of your learning and your growth and your expansion. I just saw you post on social media some classes that you're having throughout May, and I would like you to go in detail with our community about that so that if they're interested, they can possibly take the classes as well.
Awesome. Thank you. So, I know that a lot of people have concerns about social media. We've been working with what we have for such a long time: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. And with the change in the climate and all of the things that are happening nationally and internationally, we've been looking for a forum to be able to have more interactive dialogue. And so I found a medium that's going to allow for that to happen. And so we're starting what's called Heritage House, which we're working on the final stages of the website, and we're going to use a forum called Mighty Networks. So in Mighty Networks, it allows us to talk to one another, have this dialogue without being concerned about other people finding it, what's going on, what you say on it. Can we really talk about everything? And being able to have it separated based on forms because there's so many things to talk about. So Heritage House will be offering an introduction to Akan culture and tradition workshop, which is going to be a 6 class series, which is starting in May. You can reach out to us at Heritage House, Our.heritagehouse.org. I'm also part of Asumdre Menua Sumkwafo, and we've been giving Akan song classes for many years, and we're going to be ramping up and offering some more classes to be able to help people who are interested in learning more about the music and culture of the Akan community of Ghana, West Africa. I'm also going to be offering herb classes, introduction to the spiritual uses of herbs commonly found in your kitchen, because many people often ask me about, well, how do I use this besides eating it? Is there any spiritual properties of these herbs? Wherever you live, we have access to elements of nature, and these herbs have healing abilities and powers. So we're going to be talking about what is the best way to preserve that, what is the best way to grow and cultivate that. And then we're hoping that as we are moving from our Facebook forum over into the Mighty Networks, that we can begin having expansive conversations, especially as the climate is changing. How do we come together in the community around and through this recession into the depression? How do we organize community wise if resources become scarce? What's really going on in the world beyond what's being said in the media? How can you find out and be connected with people, whether it's in the health field or in the spiritual field, a variety of faiths, so that we can be able to do that? What conferences are going on in in my neighborhood, in my city, in my town, or available to me virtually, so that this way I can be able to be connected with people of like mind no matter where I am. Also, too, connecting with the universities to be able to see how young people who are taking certain classes, who actually want to speak to elders who are already in the community and doing this work and be supportive of the movement in real time, can be able to get connected on a grassroots level. And then, of course, one of my favorite pastimes, I love to read. I love to do research. And while I am in the health field, anthropology should be right behind it.
Yep.
Really creating a book club where these sacred texts that are being deleted and becoming more and more unavailable, out of print, out of stock, removed from social media and the internet, making sure that they're available to us in a way that we'll be able to still access it and have access to that information and share it on that network. So we are at the beginning stages of creating this forum, really excited about it. And we also, I think the last thing that we do is we do an Akan song circle, which it started out just being people who are practicing Akan tradition, sharing the healing messages and proverbs in the ancient songs of the people of Ghana, West Africa. But it has expanded where people are sharing sacred spiritual songs from a variety of different traditions. And we're coming
Mm.
around and learning and understanding the impact of music and how we can use music in our healing, in our peace, and in our connection. So
Oh,
that happens the first Wednesday of every month, absolutely free. And you can reach out to us at Our.heritagehouse.org, Our.heritagehouse.com to be able to get more information if you would like to join the Song Circle.
thank you so very much. And one quick question. In terms of the song circle, will you lead the song circle or will Sunkwafo lead the song circle? How will it work?
So amazingly, from the mouths of babes, my daughter woke up one day and said, Mom, we need to have a song circle. So this is her project, and
Ah,
the way that it works is you come to the song circle, and we open it with prayer in a variety of different ways, just to
mm,
bless the place, give thanks for everybody being able to come and join for a few minutes, and then we get straight into song, and we ask for a volunteer if you know a friend on the call who might know how to support you in the song, because
mhm,
when you sing, you don't just sing alone, right? It takes a
mm-mm,
community. It pulls the community into song.
mhm,
So somebody brings the song, somebody catches the chorus, or you teach us the chorus and we come in. And then after that, you pick another participant on the list and we go round robin through all of our participants. We've had as many as 70 people on the call. On average, it's usually around 20 people, and we share. We don't teach song. Some people, in their explanation, will tell what the meaning is and what the impact is for themselves, but it's not a
mhm,
song class, it's a song sharing circle, and everyone is
mm.
welcome.
Oh, that sounds
It's
so
beautiful, it is
good.
powerful, it is enlightening. So many people have joined and people feel better afterwards. I mean, we've
Yes,
had rights songs from the Senegalese tradition. We've had old times Southern songs that I have never heard before. We've had Yoruba
yes.
songs. We've had Voodoo songs. We've had a con song. Like, it's just been absolutely wonderful, the sharing that happens in that space. And, people beginning to come out of their shell and feeling supported in a space where they can give of their voice.
I
And it's
love it.
not
I
about
love
how
it.
good you sing. Uh,
Okay, so let's prove it to them. Let's show it to them right now. Let's raise a song. Let's raise a song. Ready? Ready?
I'm
Who
ready.
should raise the song? Should I raise the song or should
You
you
should
raise
raise
the
a song. I got your back. I got your back. You
song?
catch me
Okay.
when I'm not feeling well, but I got your back. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's
All
go.
right. I want you.
Yo,
I want you.
yo.
um, I'm not gonna start it right. So
It's
right,
okay. And
we're
that's the
just
other
gonna
thing
start.
about the song circle. You don't have to sing it correctly. So people bring songs sometimes and they're like, I don't know where to begin. Just get it and we will go with it. So
You,
you're
all
okay.
right, all right. So, this one, the call goes Asio pa namidie, right? So it's Kaya Kaya pa namidie, Asio pa namidie, Kaya Kaya pa namidie,
Admire,
Esi pa namidie,
kaya kaya para midye,
Esi pa namidie,
kaya kaya para midye,
Asio pa namidie,
kaya kaya para midye,
Esi pa namidie.
kaya kaya para midye,
Asiopa namidie.
kaya kaya para midye,
Asiopa namidie.
kaya kaya para midye.
Namidie. All right. That's just a little, but we invite you. I love the song space. Nana Nayo, I love when you bring everyone together. You have that kind of spirit to bring everyone together. So everyone, their differences just fall to the wayside and then we just have a good time together. I see that you've cultivated that even within your daughter, within your house, and it is highly commendable. So we give thanks for the work that you do for us, for our ancestors, for our children, for the generations to come. It is honorable work, and we thank you.
Dasi.
Thank you so much for being with us, y'all. I hope you love this. Please, you will know all the ways to get in touch with Nana Nayo in the description. Come back with us, share songs with us. We love to gather in love and connection because there's only one humanity, only one, and we have to take care of it. All right, so Nana Medasi. Until we talk
Anytime.
again.